Today we're going to be having a play with this very nice bedroom TV. You'll have to excuse a lot of banging and bumping. My good neighbour is having some work done on his house just across the road, and it really is just across the road. And it's a hot day today, so I've got to have the doors and windows open, so there's going to be lots of extra sound effects. But anyway, that doesn't matter. What we need to look at is this. It's a bush, which means it's a vestel. That's the model number, and the complaint is TV not coming on, flashing red light. So it could be backlights, it could be a circuit board problem, it could be firmware. So we'll switch it on. TV is coming on. Well, that gives you the impression it's coming on. No response to the remote, so we have a firmware error here. Sometimes the firmware on these just gets corrupt and stops the TV from coming on. So there's no real reset if it's not going to react to the remote. If it's not responding to the remote control, then there's nothing much we can do straight away apart from... Oh, hello. I had a flicker of hope then. I thought, if that had gone into TV mode then, I'm just going to wait to see if it does. If that had gone into TV mode, then I could have reset it with a remote control, which could have been okay. I want to see if it does that again. It was on about 2 minutes, wasn't it? Let's just have a look. Yeah, 2 minutes and then it did that. So let's just give it a further 2 minutes. But as you can probably see, the standby light is kind of giving an error code. So we're definitely looking at firmware, so I'm either going to have to update the firmware, which is one option. It's not necessarily the cheapest option on these, and it's not the most reliable, because you can reflash the firmware, update it, but there's nothing to stop the firmware getting corrupt again. Here we go. Still no response to the remote control. Okay. I'm going to go looking in my pots of spare parts and just see, because I've got a funny feeling we'll have a few spare boards for this. And now I'm thinking they're going to be power boards. I'm not sure if we've got a main board, but give me a second and I'll go and have a look and see if that's the case. Be a nice quick fix if it is. So I'm pleased to report we've found a matching mainboard. I'm just going to check if the numbers do match up. I think they will, because it is for the same screen. So it looks like we're going to have a good day today. It looks like this is going to be, hopefully, if this other main board is fine, this is going to be an easy, cheap fix for the customer. Not always the case, but today it looks like it is. Let's just change the main board over and see what happens. I think what I'm going to do, just to drown out the sound effects from out there, I shall put some music on. I shall close my microphone so you get to hear the music rather than the added sound effects outside. But it's only going to take a few minutes. Right. Let's plug it in. We should get that logo, but that logo should be just a splash flash, and then it should go off. Hopefully. That's looking a bit better. And it's in standby, so now we will see if it responds to the remote. And it doesn't. That could be more of an issue with the remote. switched it on using the buttons at the side for now. Right, that all seems fine. I can give it a HDMI feed if you want. Let's put some new batteries in. Okay, not responding to the remote, so that could either be a fault on the mainboard I've put in. Typical. Could be a fault on the remote. Oh, I've got another Vestel TV behind me, hang on. Well, the remote is not opening, it's not reacting to a TV behind me, so I've got a new Vestel remote here. Bit of a coincidence that the mainboard and the remote is faulty. I would have said it would have been the mainboard issue, but let's just put some batteries in this. And as you can see, it's working fine. It's a smart TV, so I'll just make sure. There we go. It's obviously not connected to the internet, but that tells me that the smart bits are working. So we'll put the stand back on, we'll screw the TV back together and give the customer some good news. So an issue with the firmware is stored on a NAND chip, which is just there. It's a NAND memory chip, and you can take these off and put them on. It's not worth the hassle. Price of these main boards is quite cheap. We just happen to have 2 or 3 lying around in the lockup where we keep spares. So it's even cheaper. Needed a new remote. For some reason the remote's failed. I don't really know why. Again, is it worth taking the remote to bits and giving it a good clean and seeing if it comes back when, for a couple of quid, they can have a replacement one which will do the job just fine. But the Bush 24-inch is now up and running and back to its best, as I like to say. That sentence will come back and bite me one day.